We are starting with a literal collision course between a mother's excuses and a judge's memory. Alonzo Taylor is back in court, and his mother is already blaming the system for her son's failures. But the judge isn't having it. She remembers this mother testifying before, making excuses while her son ignored the rules. This isn't just a hearing, it's a final reckoning. Is Alonzo headed for a second chance or a cell?
And I wanted to show you something where I lost my son and how old he was because of the system.
No. Let me stop you right there. It's not because of the system. I remember you coming into this court testifying, making excuses for him when he was not doing what he was supposed to do. Mr. Taylor, when you were first placed on probation in this court, I realized that you were very young. I don't think there's anything else I can do for him. There's no other condition that I can give for him. So what the court is going to do, the court is going to grant the motion. The court will find him guilty. The court will revoke. With your attorney, did you understand it and sign it?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
All right, state. This hearing was scheduled, at 9 a.m. It is now 11:25 a.m. The defendant is not present and neither is defense counsel. State.
Judge, we're asking that his bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that'll be granted. Do you understand you're charged with the offense of felon in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
It appears that in the police report that I have that there may have been some marijuana. So do you use marijuana?
Yes, ma'am, a little bit.
All right, what does that mean? How often are you smoking marijuana?
I like once or 2 times a week.
Okay. Anything else?
No, ma'am. Well, I drink a little bit this year.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mom.
Does she want you there?
Yes, ma'am. She's in the car right now.
All right. Where's his mom?
She's in the back with the mask.
Okay. Who else lives there? Any minors? Any children?
Yes. My brothers and sister.
And how old are they approximately?
One's 17 and another one's like 24.
Anyone younger than 17 live in the house?
Yes, my little brother, 10 years old.
Your Honor, did you want me to bring?
Judge, sorry, just
Yes.
if it's on the
Yes.
record, I see that the mom.
Yes, let's bring Mom up.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor, on this side, please.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Tracy Tejeda.
Tracy.
Tejeda.
All right. How many children are living in the home?
So I have my 4.
Okay, so what are their ages?
10, 9, 13, and 17.
Okay. And is it just you, the children who live there?
Yeah, me, my daughter. My daughter is right here, is with me too. She's 25, and then just the kids, and then Alonzo.
All right. Do you want Alonzo in the home?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to set his bond, but I'm going to put him on GPS.
I was gonna add. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I had originally asked him if we could.
All right. So it's going to be GPS. And the only time he's going to be allowed to leave the home is if he has employment. So it's going to be full house arrest. And if he gets employment, then just let the court know and I'll consider that.
Thank you, Judge.
So I'll set his bond at $15,000 since I'm putting him on GPS.
Yeah, sure.
I'll ask that the fees are waived or deferred.
Thank you, Judge.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do have a question.
Yes.
For treatment for Alonzo outside of the facility, because he is considered disability. So I already have somewhere for him to go so he can start to get from Central Health Services.
So you're saying while he's out on bond, if he can
Yeah.
go to this facility.
Mhm.
All right. And I'll put in there, he's allowed to attend all medical appointments. And if there's an issue with GPS where they say he's not allowed to go someplace and it's for medical, just let your attorney know, or either you can come in court. We're here from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and you can come in and let us know if there's an issue.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else he needs?
Well, just, some anger management classes, some counseling, stuff like that is something that would be really beneficial for him.
All right. Well, that's something, if I grant his application, that's something I'll take care on that end.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask if you will be back here on May 10th as well. Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure they get a reset form for May 10th? If you could be here as well, because then I'll delve into more about what he may need if I grant his application. Okay.
And for the
Thank
court's
you.
info, we definitely are going to have his mom here
Okay.
for court that day.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you, it is rare. Sometimes
It's rare to see a 19-year-old's mom show up this consistently in adult court, and the judge notices. But watch how the judge pivots. She acknowledges the support, but immediately lays down the law. Legally, because Alonzo is living at home, his home arrest isn't just a suggestion, it's a digital cage. If you were this mom, would you be helping him wash the dishes? Or would you be kicking him out to learn a lesson? Let me know in the comments.
people show up to court, their parents don't come. So I'm going to set your bond at $15,000. You're going to be living at your mom's house. How old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, you're 19. That's an adult. That's why you're in adult court. But as far as living at your mom's house, in your mom's house, you are not an adult. You're a child. And let me tell you why. Because that's your mom's house. That's not your house. So if she wants you to wash dishes, you need to wash dishes. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, on full GPS, if there's a barbecue outside and somebody wants you to come out and work the grill, that GPS is going to go off that you're violating your GPS zone. So you can't go outside in the yard to work the grill. If somebody wants to give you a barbecue plate, you can't be sticking your hand out the window to get it. You are confined in your home. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you violate this GPS, that will tell me something about whether or not you can follow the court's rules and whether or not I should place you on deferred or regular probation. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm going to order that he do UAs as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing, Judge.
All right. Could I get a B page on Mr. Taylor?
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And then that's the reset form. Have your client sign it and
Yes.
then enjoy your jury selection.
Open.
That's going to go well.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. So we're here for sentencing today. You entered a plea on March 29th of no contest, and you applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 5 years, and the state is silent on your application. All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Your Honor, I'd like to say a few words and then call Alonzo and his mother up if that's possible.
Yes.
So the first thing, Judge, as you go through this PSI, the thing that sticks out is criminal history, obviously. This young man just turned 20, April 8th. And as we just talked out there, I'm saying you're the perfect candidate for probation because of this. You're at a crossroads. Your life is going to be defined by what you do from now on. You've already made this thing as since a 12-year-old, if you go back with those ages. He does have certificates for construction that he can work. He does have a job. He does not have any dependents. I've talked to him about his alcohol and drug use, and he's saying that is not happening.
All right, if you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Talk about a self-inflicted wound. Alonzo just admitted he'd be kind of dirty for a drug test on the day of his sentencing. In the legal world, this is a massive red flag. It shows a complete lack of respect for the court's authority. The judge is putting him under oath now. Anything he says about his drug use can and will be used to decide if he's even probationable. The tension in the room just tripled.
Kind of dirty.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of dirty. He said kind of dirty.
Dirty for what?
Marijuana.
No, it's not marijuana. I think you know what you were using. So what have you used? Let me put you under oath. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and you're going to have to speak up so the court reporter can hear. So what are you going to be dirty for?
Marijuana.
And what else? All right, before we continue, I'm going to want a UA.
Yes, Judge. All right. They're going to give you a UA. Do we need
Yes.
to
Oh, they're
walk
going to
it
have,
down?
oh no, they're going to have somebody come and give him a UA.
And then we'll continue. Judge, may I run around to some other court real quick?
Yes, you can.
How long is that going to take? About an hour?
Oh, no. Oh, no, they're going to do a UA. Are you prepared to go now? All right. So they're going to do a UA very quickly. Vashawn, do we have results?
Positive for TH.
Okay. All right. Let's bring him on out.
You have a base level or
No, they can't give base level.
come on, Judge? I'm working with thin air here.
I know. And you're a teacher too.
About to teach.
Yeah. Well, sometimes clients don't tell you everything.
Well, no. And I talked to his mom about that. So, I mean,
Okay.
mom's right here.
All right. We're back on the record. So when's the last time you used marijuana?
About a week ago, it was a candy bar.
Okay. You're going to need to speak up. Right now is not the time to be too cool for school.
It was about a week ago. It was.
This is a painful reality check. Alonzo wants to be a construction worker, but the judge is dropping a truth bomb. You cannot be high on a job site. Between liability insurance and OSHA regulations, one failed drug test doesn't just get you fired. It gets your boss sued. Question for professionals out there. Have you ever seen someone lose a dream job because they couldn't stay clean? Share your stories below.
The candy bar site, my voice is just kind of deep in the.
So why are you doing marijuana when you know you have sentencing and you know I could send you to prison for 5 years? Because I'm sure your attorney will tell you, and I'm sure the state will tell you, in this court, age is just a number. I'm not going to treat you like a child because you're not a child. You're in adult court. I don't know why people want to use some drugs before they come to court and then try to throw themselves on the mercy of the court. State is silent, but you're here for a serious offense where you could end up going to prison for 5 years. And I will tell you this, if you end up going to prison for 5 years, it's not your mom's fault. It's not your attorney's fault. Because I'm sure your attorney probably already told you that I always, well, not always, but usually ask for a drug test. And all you had to do was come into court clean today. And if I were to send you to prison today, which I haven't made up my mind on that, it would be entirely your fault because your criminal history is just insane for someone your age. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you doing with your life?
Well, I'm not going to say that, in the past that, it was a regret because jail kind of did help me out, I had problems.
Oh, wait, let's do this. Let's stop saying, after every sentence. I want you to concentrate and try not to say, A lot of people come before me and they say, it's like, well, like this and like that. Your attorney is also a teacher, as am I. And I will tell you, he does not like his children saying, it's like. So let's try not to have that when we speak. All right. Go ahead.
Well, I went to school for, construction. It's always been like, type of dream job, sorry, it's just how.
Can I ask him a few questions, Your Honor?
No, I want to.
Okay.
I want to hear him.
Well, I went to construction for about 3 years for the school for construction, got my ACCR.
See, it's hard. And I'm doing this not to make fun of you, but you have to learn how to speak, not like you speak with your friends, because this is a professional setting. And when you go do job interviews, people are not going to want to hear, it's like, So concentrate on not saying those things. It's for the betterment of you. So concentrate, not saying that and not saying, okay, and it's like. And I want you to stand up straight and I want you to stop mumbling and I want you to speak so I can hear you because I'm trying to make a decision on whether or not to send you to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So go for it.
I went to school for 3 years for construction. Since then, I got my NCCR, OSHA, and my level in carpentry, cabinets and stuff like that.
And you have an opportunity for a job?
Yeah, I have an opportunity to job. I have a neighbor that does construction. So
Does your neighbor know that you're doing marijuana?
yes, ma'am.
You're telling me that your neighbor wants to hire you and your neighbor knows that you're doing marijuana. Tell the truth.
No, ma'am.
Here's the other thing. Do not be dishonest with me. I do not like when people are dishonest. You cannot do construction and use drugs. If you do, something's going to happen. Either there's going to be an accident at the job, and I have relatives who do construction work. I have relatives who drive. Anytime there's an accident, the first thing they want them to do, whether it's their fault or not, is take a drug test. And if there were an accident at a construction site, they would have you take a drug test. You would be positive for marijuana like you're positive today, and you would be fired. And they would be looking at a civil suit because someone is on their site using drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you living with your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
I know she doesn't want drugs in her house.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see his mom?
Absolutely. Ma'am, come on up.
Here.
Mr. Chairman.
And you had requested her, Judge, so
Yes.
we made sure she wanted to be here as well.
Thank you.
You might just remove the mask.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, if you can lower your mask and state your name for the record.
My name is Tracy.
All right, and are you his mother?
Yes.
What does he spend his day doing?
Well, just normal, sleeping. He goes and helps me with Ubering.
How does he help you with Ubering?
He delivers the food.
Does he have any friends over?
Not really.
Does he have a curfew?
Well, he has a GPS on, so he doesn't get to leave. He's just gone from 2 to 10, and then he's at home. I don't really have any. He's different. It's calmer.
Does he help you clean the home?
He does. He cleans his room. That's the most important thing, is keeping his room clean. That's what I care about. Is every kid can clean their own room and wash their own dishes. That's great with me, because that is the most important thing. Is if he can make sure he cleans his room, because I know he doesn't make a lot of the mess that's in the kitchen. It's not him. But when he does, he's very good at cleaning. He's different.
All right, who all is in the household?
So it's me, it's Lonzo, my 3 other kids. My friend comes around once in a while, but he doesn't live there, but he does.
So are the people in the home just his siblings?
Just his siblings. His girlfriend comes, but she doesn't stay. She just.
And I'm hoping she's not in a bedroom with the door closed with him.
Yes.
Oh, that needs to stop. I don't know how parents do it today, but what I can tell you, in my household, when I was growing up, number 1, there were no boys in bedrooms.
Yeah.
Number 2, they were only in common areas. And number 3, they had to call before they came. And when my grandmother would babysit me, my aunt had a boyfriend to come over. And you know what ended up happening? He overstayed his welcome. And you know what my grandmother told him? No one is going to come into my home and try to outsit me. And she put him out from the common area. Now, he hung around, and now he and my aunt have been married for like 30 years. So I guess he was like, I'm going to take what your grandmother is dishing out. But he should not be in a bedroom with a door closed with his girlfriend. You know why? Because 1, he's not ready to have a child. because he's using marijuana. He has all this criminal history. And any mother who would allow a girlfriend to see someone with the baggage he has when he doesn't have his life in order, I question that mother. And he may end up improving his life, but the way his life stands right now, it's chaos. It's chaos with the GPS. It's chaos because he's looking at 5 years prison, and you have some girl coming over in his bedroom with the door closed. That equals possibility of children. And are you ready to be a grandma?
The judge is moving from the law books to the parenting books. She's calling out the hotel/motel dynamic, where parents try to be friends instead of authority figures. This is about more than just marijuana. It's about the cycle of instability. By allowing a girlfriend in the bedroom with the door closed while Alonzo faces prison time, the judge sees a recipe for a fatherless child and more chaos. It's a brutal, honest look at how domestic life impacts criminal justice.
Mother from him?
No, they both take care of themselves to the point where they are.
No, they don't. They're young. And young children tend to do dumb things, whether they have been raised by Mary Poppins or not. They still do dumb things. And I'm just going to be honest with you, right? I don't understand how parents allow children who are not married to come into their home and treat their home, as my grandmother used to say, like a hotel motel. That should not be happening. And you know why? Because it sets a bad example for his siblings. And then your home becomes a hotel motel. The only difference is they don't have to pay for it.
Very true.
So that needs to stop. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here is your choice. I can give you deferred adjudication. If I give you deferred adjudication, if you are revoked, you're going to be looking at 10 years in prison. Or I can send you to prison for 2 years and you will be done. Which would you prefer?
Adjudication.
Right. And what I can tell you is Deputy Laura tells me all the time that she doesn't know how people do probation in this court, because probation in my court is difficult. Because if I give you probation, I want you to be rehabilitated. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There should be proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. I'm going to want him tested for levels. Those levels had better start going down. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this girlfriend you have, is she using as well?
No, ma'am.
Another reason why she shouldn't be with you. It sounds like she doesn't use drugs, but you do. And then you have these criminal cases and you've just been placed on deferred for felon in possession of a weapon. You need to ask yourself, why is she with me? And if it's because she sees something in you, you need to ask yourself, what does she see in me? And the fact that she's taken a chance on you, you need to start doing better. He's going to remain on GPS. I'm going to want a curfew. The only exception to the curfew is if he's at work. So he's going to be in the home by 8 p.m. And if he's not working on weekends, he is to remain at home on the weekends. So there will be no partying for you.
Your Honor, if I may. So the construction job with his neighbor that he was talking about, he was saying that how is that going to work with GPS? Because I don't know if that person, well, that's what we need to find out. We need to talk to him and see if he can arrange a schedule.
The problem we have with the GPS, it's on a school campus and they go around military bases and they do the routes.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yes.
They want you working. Okay? They want you using your craft. But you also got to show this court that you're going to be doing what you need to do.
All right. So it's partial GPS.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, it's partial GPS for employment. I'm going to want field visits, one time per month, 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Yes, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
No, he, my understanding, he's going to be working throughout the week. So he doesn't leave the house till 7 a.m. and he's back at 8 p.m. But if he's at work, then he can work.
And Judge, I appreciate your thoroughness. I just need to make sure he understands this. You're saying if that construction job, if he cannot have the GPS, you're saying then he cannot work that job. Is that what we're saying?
Well, let's just see. I don't believe in crossing bridges until they're built. So let's see where we are on that. And then if there's an issue with that, then he can come back to the court. And this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. So if there's an issue, talk to the probation. If you're not able to speak with probation or you feel like they're not addressing your issue, then come to court and address it with me.
Very good.
But the issues on the construction job side is not with this side. That's the reason I haven't been able to work yet.
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying.
The issues on the construction side, that's why I haven't been able to work yet.
Like, what is the issue?
It's the monitor, me being around, gotta be on school campuses, military bases. It just doesn't look right in the field.
So you need to talk to that boss and see if that's a no-go. In other words,
I mean, get some big boots. Get some big boots on. Pull your pants leg over the GPS. Here's the reason why you're on GPS. I don't just put people on GPS. Sometimes people who are on probation, they get taken off of GPS. The reason why you're on GPS is because you are not even doing what you're supposed to do with this hanging over your head. You knew that I could send you to prison for potentially 5 years, and you chose marijuana over having a better shot at not going to prison. All right, what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days, and those are all over the city. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to stop using marijuana, or you need some type of intervention?
I'll be able to stop.
All right, probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful, or forever hold your peace?
I'm concerned about the job. It's kind of my dream job.
No, wear long pants. And I've said it, I'm going to say it again. And maybe the marijuana is clouding your mind, but this is what I'm telling you. Wear long pants, wear bigger boots. If there's another issue where the construction job is saying you cannot wear GPS to work this job, then that means that bridge has been built. Your attorney can come back to me and we can address it. But if they are saying that construction, you can't have that with construction, you're going to need that person to come into court or either do an affidavit with your attorney or directly speak to your attorney to say construction cannot be done with this. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Judge, one more. Thank you.
So my son passed away. So
How long?
it was 4 years ago, but I wanted to do something with my family for his birthday, and that's this Saturday. And I wanted to find out if that would be okay.
Where are you
All
going
right.
to go?
Rashawn?
We're going to the Live Oak Park.
Okay. Can you make sure that they're allowed to celebrate her? I won't say celebrate, but acknowledge her son's passing and that he's allowed to attend. So Saturday, if whatever their plans are, he's allowed to attend.
And as far as the monitor, so I completely understand why you want to have the monitor and not. But I will tell you that Alonso's been to a lot of interviews, and so it is very difficult to wear a monitor and people want to give you a job. And so his friend was explaining to him too, because I overheard the phone and I overheard you say something too, and it made me think about something. Because a lot of people judge something that they don't know the whole story about. And that's an unfortunate thing because we've been dealing with this for a very long time, and I'm still dealing with this.
And this is one of the things that have caused a lot of problems for Alonzo.
All right, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I'm internalizing it, but I want you to understand something. He needs structure. He doesn't have structure. And I am not trying to question your parenting skills, but this is what I see. Parents are trying to be friends with their children. They're acting like their friends, their children are their friends and adults. You're not technically an adult. You know why? Because you can't take care of yourself. You're living at home with your mother. You're using her home as a hotel room, and she's letting you use it as a hotel room. You've been having issues since you've been a juvenile. We got the resisting arrest and search, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, unauthorized use of a vehicle, failure to identify, another resisting arrest, search and transport. I'm ignoring that because that was taken into consideration. And then you've been to TYC before. And you know what that tells me? That tells me a little bit that, one, you need structure. And mom, you are not his friend, you are his parent. And you need to start laying down the law, because otherwise he's going to end up in prison. And if you violate the conditions that I've set for you, what's going to end up happening is you could be looking at 10 years in prison. Here on out, everything that you do in your life, every decision that you're making, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. Because what I can tell you is, and Deputy Laura will tell you, Deputy Mejia and Ms. Abrams will tell you, at some point in time, when people violate conditions in this court, they always end up getting caught. You may not get caught the first time you violate it, but ultimately you end up getting caught, because I'm serious about probation coming out doing field visits. And when they do, and something happens, you know what ends up happening? I receive a motion to revoke. And when I get that motion to revoke, if it's in proper order, I check the box and a warrant is issued. You are picked up by the police and you are taken into custody. And either your mom makes bond for you or she does not. If she doesn't make bond for you, you are brought over in orange after having been at the jail with other inmates, sharing toilets, sharing clothing. And then I hear your motion. And if it turns out that it is true and I find it's true, then you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So your mom is allowing you to do things that she should not be allowing you to do. So you're going to have to check yourself. I don't know if that's something that young people still say, but that's what they said when I was growing up. You're going to have to put yourself in check, because your mom looks at you, your mom loves you, your mom looks at you as still as her little boy, you're an adult. So if you love your mom, you're going to have to start doing things appropriately so your mom doesn't have to come to court begging you and not seeing the fact that she has a son who came to court for sentencing and you're using marijuana. And you're probably using it in her house in the form of candy bars or whatever. And you're in the back room with your girlfriend having sex or whatever. And you're going to end up, if you continue on that vein, you guys are going to forget something. And you're going to end up bringing a grandchild into this world for her, and she's going to end up caring for it. And that grandchild is going to be stuck with the father who has all this history, who doesn't have their life in order. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge. With the excuse.
Yes.
Just when you thought he was safe with 5 years of deferred adjudication, the floor drops out. We fast forward to May 2023, and Alonzo is already back for a revocation hearing. He's pleading true to evading arrest. This means the deferred status is gone, and that 10-year prison cap is now a very real possibility. He traded his freedom for a moment of running from the cops. Stay tuned, because the judge is about to decide if the crossroads finally led to prison.
Brandon Sierra. Are the parties here for Brandon Sierra? I'm Alonzo Miguel Taylor, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 6828 for the offense of felon in possession of a firearm on May 10, 2023 for a period of 5 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 9th day of February 2022, In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, committed the offense of evading arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motions.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's not, Your Honor. We're going open on this, but we have agreed that the defendant will go plead to the evading that he just pled true to in County Court number 5, and the state has agreed to TIC the resisting from February 9th, 2024, and the evading from November 15th, 2023. The state is asking that the defendant be revoked and sentenced to 6 years in the prison, and I believe the defense would like to be heard on that.
Yes, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, his mother, Miss Tejeda, is here. Can I call her as a witness?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let me ask you something before you call her. Is this the same mother who came in here previously and she was allowing him to have females in his room and said that the great thing about him was that he kept his room clean? Is this the same mother?
Sure.
Oh, no, I think it is. But bring her on up.
Says that you know who she is.
Oh, yes, I do.
She hasn't.
I remember this case. His hair was a different color at that time.
You have a good memory.
I try.
Man, put your phone away. I actually wanted to show her something. So,
Can you raise your right hand?
yeah,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Tracy. Last name is Tejeda.
All right, what do you wish to tell me?
So this has been a long time. I didn't expect for everybody to be here, but I know plenty of parents come here or they don't. My son, I've been going through this for a very long time. And I wanted to show you something where I lost my son and how old he was because of the system.
No. Let me stop you right there. It's not because of the system. I remember you coming into this court testifying, making excuses for him when he was not doing what he was supposed to do, making excuses for him for why he's testing positive for drugs, making excuses for him for why he doesn't have a job, making excuses for him for why you were letting him be at your house and using your house as a hotel motel. You came in and made excuses for him with that. And I remember specifically telling him that he had better start getting his life together because you were not being of help to him, that you were enabling him. And now you're back before me again, making excuses for his actions. So his being in the system, what does that have to do with him evading?
So I'm not making excuses for Alonzo. What I'm saying, let's say if you had been shot in your knee at 15, or you were accused of something that you didn't do at 13, you end up going into the system. You end up finding friends in the system that you can start believing that they're your friends. He got his fingers broken. Not to mention, I can name several other things that Alonzo's been through mentally that has been very challenging for him since he's been a child, okay? So I don't make excuses, but I do understand when people go through things in their lives, that mentally damages them. So there's a lot that you guys don't know about Alonzo, what he's seen, what he's experienced. And
well, let me tell Let me tell you this. Here's an excuse that you're making, and you made it before. Since you're bringing me into the equation, let me bring myself into the equation as you've done. My mother divorced. When I was young, my brother was young. And guess what? She had rules and we had to follow those rules. There is no way on this planet that my mom ever allowed us to have people in our bedrooms with doors closed, knowing that we are having sex in bedrooms with the doors closed and saying we're going to take care of it. You have done a disservice to him because you've been making excuses. Everybody, I can tell you, everybody in this court has had something traumatic happen to them. Believe it or not, I've had traumatic things happen to me. People think that I just came on this bench and everything was fine and I had this perfect Pollyanna life. That's not my life. But you know what? At a certain point in time, no matter what has happened to you in your past, at some point, the choices you're making are the choices you are making. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, I definitely understand. And I explained that to Alonzo too. And so that's why I explained to him like outpatient mental health.
Oh, no, let me just tell you, let me stop you right there. If I continue him on probation, there is no way he's doing any type of outpatient. And there's no way he's going to be living with you because obviously you are an enabler. You're not a good influence in your life. And I knew when I placed him on probation previously that he should not be living with you, but he had no other choice but to stay with you. I knew that. So I'll own that.
He was 19.
Yeah. And you're enabling him.
But 19 years old.
No, you cannot.
I'm not. I understand what you're stating, but I've come a long way with Alonzo, and he's come a long way, and he's changed a lot.
No, he hasn't.
He has. Yes, he has.
All right, I'm gonna have you step back.
I
Thank you.
understand.
Can you come forward?
Can I talk?
No, you may not. I'm gonna give you a choice.
Can I please talk?
No, I'm gonna give you a choice. Here are your choices. You have two choices. One, I can continue on your probation. You will no longer be living at your mom's house because she's an enabler. She was an enabler when she came here. And she was an enabler last time for you when you had a different hair color. She was an enabler when you kept testing positive for drugs. So one or two things. One, I can continue you, or I can sentence you to 7 years in prison. Which do you prefer? All right. So you're not going to be allowed to live with your mom anymore. I'm going to deny the motion. And the only reason why, well, one of the many reasons why I'm continuing you is because of your age. You're young. I still think you can be saved. I could send you to prison, and you know what would happen at the prison?
Let me say one thing.
No. You know what would end up happening at prison?
Isolated like all either.
Oh, no, you wouldn't be isolated. You'd be in general population and people would be looking at you some kind of way. Prison is not a nice place to be. Prison is not a place where people go and everybody just leave them alone and everybody's being nice to each other. I'm going to deny the motion. I'm going to alter the main conditions. And that's going to include, he's either probation, he's either going to felony drug court, or he's going to state ISF. And he's not allowed to reside with his mom. It's time for you to grow up.
Can I do felony drug court?
Hmm?
Can I do felony drug court?
If felony drug court accepts you, and you had better talk to them and let them know that you want to be in felony drug court. You understand?
No.
You had better start making better choices with your life. Now, do you still want to talk to me?
No.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
What do you want to say?
I just want to say, my mom's my best friend. My only friend.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my life, she's right. I've been isolated from the worst, basically. I'm not really good at talking to people. I never was. Today, I might mess up my speech a little bit.
I understand.
I made mistakes in my life, a lot of mistakes. Can't really take them back.
Let me just tell you what the problem is. And we're off the record. This is the problem. The problem is parents, they're really not supposed to be your best friend. I don't understand this new age parenting that people have. Parents are supposed to be parents.
I didn't grow up with anybody.
No, that's what I'm saying. Guess what? You know who was in my life? My mom. But my mom let me know that she's my mom. We're not girlfriends, right? I know I can go to her. I know I can tell her anything, and I would tell her anything. But there is no way on this earth that I would be calling her by her first name because she was my mother. And we were not best friends. We were not girlfriends. I knew that she was in charge, and that's how it was ran. And I'm only telling you this since your mom wanted to bring me in the equation. Your problem is your mom with her letting you treat her house like a hotel motel, guess what? That's because y'all are best friends. She's not behaving as a mother, and you are going to have to grow up. And that's why you're not allowed to reside with her, because she's enabling you and she's making excuses. At some point, the choices you make in your life, guess what? Those are your own choices, because otherwise everybody in here has some trauma and they can go out, continue to break the law, and they can just come in and say, oh, I only have a single parent. Oh, I got shot. Oh, they kicked me out of school. Oh, I never had anybody to be there for me. Oh, I only have one friend. There are so many excuses that people can have for not doing the right thing. That's going to stop with you today. You understand? No. We're done. And are you Alonzo Taylor? All right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Alonzo Miguel Taylor who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 6828 for the offense of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon on May 10th, 2023 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? All right, state.
Violated condition number 1 on or about the 10th day of November 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, committed the offense of burglary of a habitation in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 2 on or about the 17th day of July 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court or officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 2 on or about the 18th day of June 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent in the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Violated condition number 2 on or about the 19th day of May 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court or officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 2 on or about the 8th day of April 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court or officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 2 on or about 31st day of March 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court or officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Violated condition number 15 on or about the 13th day of November 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to complete 178 hours of community service restitution in violation of condition number 15.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 3 on or about...
Just 1 second. Do y'all have an amended motion? Because I don't have it.
We do, Judge. I have a copy if you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Taylor, did you review the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Judge, I'm sorry, just one moment. So from the first amended, there's a violation of condition number 1 regarding the offense of criminal mischief, and then a violation of condition number 1 for assault bodily injury. At this time, we're going to waive those 2 violations, but then proceed on the next 2.
All right. Any objection to waiver of count 1, the criminal mischief?
No objections.
I'm sorry, violation of condition number 1, the mischief.
No objections, Judge.
Any objection to the waiver of violation of condition number 1, the assault bodily injury?
No objections.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Violated condition number 3 on or about the 25th day of November 2025 in Boyer County, Texas. The defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there fail to obtain and keep gainful employment in a lawful occupation, fail to show proof of employment, failed to report to a jobs counselor or employment agency as directed by the court supervision officer, failed to tender financial documents as directed by the court and or supervision officer in violation of condition number 3.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 7. On or about the 11th day of November 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Alonzo Miguel Taylor, did then and there possess contraband in his home, vehicle, on his person, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 7.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violations 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 15, and 3, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 15, and 3? Court will find 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 15, and 3 true. All right, State, are you ready to proceed on the other violations?
We are, Your Honor. Well, I guess before we get started, I'd like to invoke the rule. There are 2 witnesses present that have been served with subpoenas. And so I'd like to invoke the rule at this time.
All right, the rule will be invoked.
Okay. So my name is Jonathan Alvarado. I hope you can see me. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm Mr. Taylor's attorney. Have you been his probation officer his entire time on probation?
I have not.
Okay, when did you become his probation officer?
I became his officer when he was released from ISF in November of 24. I supervised him from November 2024 to March 2025. I was out on leave from April to August. And then I started supervising him again from August to October, right until he was arrested. So roughly 7 to 8 months.
Okay, understood. And as a probation officer for Bexar County Adult Probation, you have access to essentially Mr. Taylor's probation file. Is that fair?
Yes.
And are you a custodian of records of that file?
I'm not, and I don't understand what do you mean by that.
Like, are you able to access that in the course of your regular practice or business, that being a probation officer?
Whatever's in CSS, yes.
Okay.
Or relative to this case or his probation.
Gotcha. So I just have a few questions regarding Alonzo while he was on probation and your supervision of him. He's pled true to a few different violations of him not submitting to drug tests. Do you have those violations in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And regarding those violations, were you told by him that he was struggling to submit on different occasions? One, because he did not have a ID or license. Were you aware of that? Or do you remember that?
I'm going back to, sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm going back to March 21st because that's the only one where I've directly sent him to go. I directed him to go. All the other drug tests were directed by other officers when I was out. I'm not aware of that.
Okay. And it's not in the notes anywhere, as far as you're aware?
Not as far as not having an ID. Sometimes he just reported that he didn't have the financial means to drug test.
Okay. And that was gonna be one of my next questions. And I think additionally, what was it relayed to you, or are you aware that he oftentimes did not have a ride to go submit?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the court summary, there's violations of failing to submit from March to July of 2025. Do you see those?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then in September of 2025, there was a hair sample. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And that was done, I assume, because of the failure to submit from those previous months. Would that be fair?
Yes, just based off of him saying he doesn't have money or a ride. So the hair follicle was offered because it was free and could be done in office.
Okay. And he did submit to that?
Yes, he did.
And that came back negative, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at least from what I can tell here, he only tested positive once, and it was for marijuana back in October of 2023. Is that fair?
Yes. I do want to note that the hair follicle test does not drug test for marijuana. It tests for everything else but marijuana.
Okay, understood. And that, just to go back to that October 2023 test, that was before he went to ISF, correct?
Yes.
All right. I pass witness, Judge.
No question, Judge.
All right, is the witness excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony during the pendency of this hearing. All right, thank you.
Excused. Thank you.
All right, defense, call your next witness.
Judge, we rest.
All right, then the court will hear argument. The witnesses who were excused from the courtroom, did anyone want them back in or no?
Not particular, Judge.
All right, then the before you all do argument, the court will find, as previously stated, that violations 15, and I believe this is number 3. Is that correct? Or was it 13?
15, 3, and 7.
And he pled not true to 7 on the First Amendment, but he did plead true to the number 3.
All right. So, and the court will find violations 2, 15, and 3 true based upon his plea of true. And the court will hear argument with regards to the violation of condition number 1, which was the allegation of burglary of a habitation, and violation of condition number 7, which is related to marijuana. Is that correct from both sides?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State.
Just to be clear, do you want us to argue for what we're asking for now, or?
Well, I'll hear the argument for the not true first, and then I'll make a decision on whether it's true or not true, and then I'll hear argument based upon what each party is asking for.
Okay. Judge, so we believe that we've proven violation of condition number 1 and violation of condition number 7 by a preponderance of the evidence. Regarding violation of condition number 7, the officer testified that he had transported the defendant to the magistrate, and upon arrival, he searched the defendant's fanny pack and found a green leafy substance that he recognized from his training and experience visually and by odor as marijuana. And then regarding violation of condition number 1, the burglary of habitation, you heard from the homeowner, Ashley Heard. She was a person that was living at that residence at the time of the offense, and a year prior. There's been no evidence that she does not have the greatest right of possession regarding all of the parties that were involved in this offense. And then regarding I know defense has made arguments about regarding there was forced entry or not. Ultimately, I believe that we have proved that the defendant did force entry into the location. However, that's not required by statute. All that's required is that he break the plane of that front door without the consent of the homeowner. And I believe that we have proven that by a preponderance of the evidence. And then regarding the assault that occurred, you heard from Ashley Heard that she observed the defendant enter the residence, grab Jasmine Udiba and drag her out. That was corroborated by the 911 call, the excited utterance that was entered into evidence. And then some of the photos of Jasmine Udiba's belongings still being at the residence when the police arrived. And even in the defendant's own statement, he is trying to protect himself and contest the legal elements of what occurred. So he's, saying, well, he's trying to contest entry, and he's like, well, I didn't force entry, but he admits to being in the doorway when we have the homeowner who's continuously said that she didn't provide him consent to enter into the location. He contests the assault, but not really, because his rendition of it is that he just gently grabbed Jasmine Udiba. And then he's trying to contest consent by saying that Ashley Heard is not the owner of the residence. However, she is the person that was living there on that day. She has the greatest right of possession to that residence. And then ultimately, what is the most telling is that when the detective asked him if the witnesses are lying, he says he doesn't know. And so we would ask that you find both of the violations true.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. I'll start with the marijuana violation or allegation, Judge. I think with that, even though it's a lower standard of preponderance of the evidence, Judge, the most they have there is probable cause just based off the smell and the appearance of it. But as the court's aware, the reason the DA's office doesn't file those charges is because it's such a hassle to get them tested by the lab and actually validate at this point in time that it is marijuana, and he wasn't charged with it regardless. The burglary habitation charge, that's obviously the big contention here. I think what it comes down to, Judge, is do you believe what Miss Heard is testifying to today? And she was a very, I can't think of any other word besides hostile witness in regards to her answers. And, I get that she didn't want to be here, but not being able to answer simple questions to me indicated that she had an axe to grind, and she was going to take it out on Alonzo. And what I think is the most telling regarding that is the lack of physical corroboration to her testimony. Because in this situation, Judge, she emphatically stated that Alonzo kicked down the door, and that at that point in time, he came and, in her words, snatched her, Jasmine. The physical evidence does not corroborate that. There's a dent in the front of the door that the witness says is caused by my client. That's the only person that testifies to that or gives any evidence of that. What she does say is that the damage to the door that was observed besides the dent had been there previously. She testified that she had new locks in the door. She testified that she even had a door stopper, or she said a kick door stopper, another protection to keep the door from being kicked in. But she wants this court to believe that my client, who honestly is not that big, and in one kicked down that door, but left no physical damage to the door frame, the lock, or this door stopper. I just don't think that's credible, Judge. I think her attitude on direct and cross reflects that. And so if that's the witness that the state wants you to believe, Judge, I just don't think that she's credible enough to find this allegation true. My client's interview, where he gives his statement, I think the state is trying to say that he technically admits to burglary habitation, but I don't believe that's true either, Judge, because he states that somebody opens the door for him, and that once the door is open, he takes Jasmine behind her back, like by her shoulder, and takes her outside, like, come on, let's go, kind of thing. That would have been effective consent if somebody opened the door for him. And I guess also, what would be then the crime of which he intended to commit upon breaking the plane? If that's how we're gonna phrase it. I don't see what crime it would be, because he's not kidnapping her. If he's just saying, like, hey, come on, let's go, like, that's not kidnapping. And so if you don't believe Ms. Heard's testimony, I don't think that the violation has been met. It hasn't been met by preponderance of the evidence, and we'd ask that you deny. We ask that you deny those allegations, Judge. He has pled true regarding the probation violations.
The court is going to rule with regards to violation number 7. The court will find that violation not true. With regards to violation of condition number 1, the court will find that true. Does any state, what are you requesting?
Judge, we are asking that you revoke his community supervision and sentence him to 10 years in the prison. The reason that we are asking that is because this defendant has shown to the court, this is the 3rd time that he's shown to the court, that he has no interest in rehabilitating himself and being a productive member of society and stopping to fail to commit crimes or to even comply with his terms of probation. So Judge, I want to talk about the initial plea. So he's on deferred adjudication for felon in possession. At that time, the state was not opposing his application, but we were not recommending. And so this honorable court took a chance on him because he was a young individual. And what does he do? He goes and picks up an MTR that had 29 violations, I might add. And so the court, having mercy on him, allowed him to go to state ISF and gave him specific instructions that upon release, he was not to reside with his mother. So he goes to ISF, he's released, and what does he do? He fails to submit to UAs multiple times. He's commingling with his mother when he's not supposed to. He's having this nonchalant, lackadaisical attitude with the field visit officer. He's possessing many liquor bottles. He's having a shrine of Santa Muerte. And moreover, he's committing additional offenses. He's hanging out with two guys that have firearms that they're pointing at a house and two children. He has displayed to this court many times that he does not intend to rehabilitate himself or be a productive member of society. And I would like to add that Ms. Almaraz testified that he wasn't submitting because he didn't have a ride and he didn't have money. But I take issue with that, and that he was able to find the ride to go to Nelson Avenue. And when he was arrested,
There's someone at the door.
he was in possession of $1,100. And he admitted to Ms. Griffith that he does not have legal employment. For those reasons, Judge, we're asking that you sentence him to the 10 years.
All right. And if those are people who want to be in the courtroom, as you all know, the courtroom is open to the public. So since both parties have rested and closed, those who were under the rule, they can be in the courtroom. So do you have anyone that
You can go check who it is, Judge, if you don't mind.
All right. And I'll hear your argument, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, we respect the court's ruling. I think the court can see why we did choose to contest the verdict of habitation charge. But we do respect the court's ruling. The court has the ability to do a few different things here. My client is still on deferred adjudication, or was on deferred adjudication. You could revoke his deferred adjudication and place him on regular community supervision with an underlying term all the way up to 10 years. I would ask the court to take some mercy on Alonzo. He is a young man who, from a young age, has been part of the system. And in this situation, Judge, I think Alonzo made a lapse of judgment, totally his own lapse of judgment, in pursuing Jasmine to that home. I think that much is clear. He should never have done that. But regarding what happens next to him, I think sentencing him up to 10 years, Judge, for a felon possession charge is too much, quite honestly. He was on for a third-degree felony. This is his first, that was his first adult case. And so if you are going to sentence him to prison, Judge, we would ask you sentence him to the lower end of the range of punishment. But again, we are asking for the mercy, if you give him the felony conviction, to continue him on with regular probation.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
I'm sorry, I just one more thing. Because the predicate felony was a felony conviction out of Lee County. I believe that was his first adult felony conviction. But anyway, this court has given him mercy before. He's a danger to our community, and we're asking you for 10 years.
So, Mr. Taylor, when you were first placed on probation in this court, I realized that you were very young. The state was silent on their application, on your application for deferred adjudication. But I gave him deferred because he was very young. And I do believe the other matter may have been a juvenile matter that he ended up going to what previously was known as TYC. That's why it was a felon in possession or unlawfully carrying of a weapon by a felon. So I placed him on deferred adjudication. And I tried to give him conditions that would hopefully help him get his life in order. And then we came back on another motion to revoke. And I realized that there were some issues, and I tried to address those issues by setting certain conditions to address those issues. And so I am going to, I don't think there's anything else I can do for him. There's no other condition that I can give for him. So what the court is going to do, the court is going to grant the motion. The court will find him guilty. The court will revoke. The court will give him credit for any time served. The court will give him credit for any time served for the successful completion of ISF or any other inpatient treatment, which is dictated by law. The court is going to order that there's to be no residing in any households with minors. There's to be no contact with Jasmine Uribe. There is a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent, and the court will sentence him to 10 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney.